Hey Jarvis, let's start work.
All done, Dean. Good luck with today's project.
I need to make a load of little drawers and I hate making drawer runners. So this is going to be my little saviour. With those little plastic inserts, that's just begging to be repurposed for something more useful in this day and age. I could have happily just made drawers for this tall unit and it wouldn't have taken up much space and would have been brilliant. However, I like to overcomplicate things, but more importantly, I also wanted to build something that was going to match a previous build that I'd made but didn't record. This drawer unit was something that I threw together one afternoon because I needed something, because I've got this new hobby now of watchmaking where I'm very excited about taking watches apart and fixing them. But unfortunately, it means that I've got many small parts. So because I wanted to match something that I'd already made, and making drawer runners is time consuming and just a pain in the bum, I decided that I was just going to use these runners and I could potentially use the wood later on. I think I did come up with a little hack though. You know those annoying little staples that hold the backs onto things like this? Well, using a corkscrew from a Swiss Army knife is a great way to get them out of the substrate, if you like, and then once you've got them to a certain height, then you can get a pair of pliers and just pull them out. Makes life a lot easier that way. I made this shed, which is my wood storage shed, purely from reclaimed wood, and it's one of the better things that I've made, not because it's a wonderful structure, it's perfectly adequate, but more importantly, it's somewhere that I can put all of the salvaged wood that I've collected over the years, and it's brilliant to be able to go in there and just try and find stuff for certain projects, or you can just go in there for inspiration and get bits of wood out that you're going to need. But in this case, as always, I'm using reclaimed, so trying to find adequate stuff that'll do the trick. Hopefully I'm learning from previous mistakes and I'm having a practice run with some scrap OSB before cutting into the decent stuff that I found, so I can just make sure that my idea is going to work. I know it sounds dumb for something this simple, but I'm learning that having a practice run of pretty much everything you do is often invaluable. Okay, so practice over. Now it's time to try and get the measurements correct to match the thing that I'd previously made. In the shed, I'd found some veneered MDF that I got a while ago, and I think it's about 10mm, something like that, so it's absolutely perfect for the job at hand. I'm using the track saw more and more to break down long goods that don't fit on the cabinet saw, and so I think I'm going to make more of an effort to actually get this kind of area track saw friendly rather than sort of just throwing it together. I've got this MFT stuff that I've shown you in previous videos, and so I think it's only fair to start using it properly. So tell me your favourite hacks, tips or tricks or whatever for when you're setting up your MFT station for track saw use. Do you use a rail hinge? Do you use anything else that I should be aware of? Let me know down below. More scrap, got some 18mm ply that I found, and it's just a little bit, but that's all I need. These are for the bottoms. Attaching the CD slides to the veneered MDF, nice and easy, just lining it up with the front and top corners of the long pieces of veneered MDF that I've cut, and yeah, keeping it nice and simple. I'm not going to do any technical clamping while making this. It's a really hot day, and so I'm figuring that I can just put stuff in place, let the glue go off over the course of like half an hour and get back to it, and that worked out really well actually. And so keeping this one super easy, I just popped a square in place, lent a pencil against the MDF to make sure that it's dried plumb, added the base, and then just sat down for half an hour, stroked the dog, had a coffee, chilled out for a bit, and because it was a hot day, the glue had cured enough for me to be able to carry on, and yeah, it was nice just to have that relaxation moment rather than stressing and clamping and all that sort of nonsense, because who needs that in their lives? In order to glue the top on and make sure everything remains square, I cut a CD blank, if you like, out of OSB, and I used that with a very, very light clamp just to make sure that the MDF didn't bend out or splay out or do anything weird that it shouldn't do, and it was more of a safeguard than anything else. In retrospect, I should have cut this sort of CD blank just a hair wider than normal, just to make sure that things aren't too snug later down the line, but it worked. It's fine, and yeah, learn from it, move on. Chucked in a few brads just to make sure that everything stayed the way it should be, and I was quite proud of myself here because every single brad that I put in didn't come pooping out the side. I wanted to make sure that we were matching, and so as you can see, we're not looking too bad. And so I'm just now adding some hardwood fronts, or little sort of borders if you like, to the front of the drawers so I can match what I'd previously made. Alright, so now it's cutting all the drawer bases, and there's quite a few of them. This particular CD unit has these little tabs at the front, and that locks in the CD, which means that they don't come flying out if you knock over the unit. And I thought this was actually a really good idea because there's going to be small parts in there. It would make sure that if you do ever do something silly, that all your small parts don't go everywhere. But at the same time, it makes it an absolute pain in the bumhole to make the rest of the drawer fronts and not kind of get involved with those little tabs. Does that make sense? No problem though, some flush cut snips and off they come. Makes life nice and easy. Get rid of the problem by just getting rid of the problem. I've previously made this Japanese style marking gauge, and I really enjoy using it. I need to make another one and on camera because it needs improvement, but I really enjoy using it because A, it's super comfortable in the hand, but B, it's also got this massive flat reference surface which makes life just a lot easier in my book. But what I'm doing is just laying out some marking, which is making sure that I've got enough side space to fit in those CD racks. More salvaged MDF, and this time I'm using it to make basically the insides of the drawer. You'll see what I mean in a moment, but all I'm doing is just cutting a load of different strips and then having the somewhat relaxing but somewhat laborious task of sitting there and gluing everything together for all 12 drawers. And I'm using those lines that I drew to make sure I don't overstep the mark and put the sides essentially too far outwards that would stop them going in the CD rack. And again, no technical clamping or anything like that. I just stacked one on top of the other and let that weight do the trick to make sure everything stayed put. Wasn't too heavy, wasn't necessary. Another little tip here is when you have all these small offcuts and bits and bobs that you just generally would throw away, instead of throwing them away, keep them together, and every now and again just glue a load of them up, glue a load of them together, because you might find that you've got uses for those panels that you make later down the line. I glued these together with no idea what I was going to use them for, and then the opportunity arose to make this cabinet, and I think they look great. Adding the drawer fronts was pretty easy because the bottom of the drawer front is flush with the bottom of the drawer, and so this meant that all I had to do was glue things together, use a depth gauge to make sure that I had the right spacing. Once that was done, I just pushed a bit of wood up against the front of a couple of them, as you can see here, clamped it down on the MFT, and that was more than enough pressure to keep things nice and tight while they dried up. To make the top look a little bit prettier, all I did was use a ruler as a spacer sitting on the top drawer there, and then just added a bit of hardwood like I did with the bottom. Make sure that I glue it on, added a couple of brad nails, job's a good one. Added a round over to the sides of the drawers. Probably don't do this, probably not the safest, be better, but it worked for me. Quick little sanding to make sure that we get any burn marks off from the router. And then you got those brad nails to take care of, so another little tip, and this video seems to be full of them. Just pop a little bit of wood glue over the top of those brad nails as long as they're inset, and then like magic, bit of hand sanding and boosh, they disappear. Look at that, look. Magic. On the home straight now, doing a little bit of sanding just to get prepared for the finishing. Grainguard sent me out some of their finishes to try a while ago, and I will make a video about them at some point, but I'm making sure that I use them a lot, and I've got to say I'm really impressed with them. They come out really nicely. I chose to use Danish oil on this one for no real reason, to be honest with you. I've been doing this for years and I get a rough idea that you want to do certain finishes if you want certain levels of protection, but otherwise go with what you've got. I didn't have any knobs small enough for these drawers, so the 3D printer came in super helpful as always and made these little puppies. Not my file, someone else designed them, but don't they look cute? And keeping things affordable as well, this black enamel from Parkside from Lidl actually came in pretty well. It's the first time that I've really used this in anger, and it made things look really, really nice. Multiple coats, but look how shiny these things are. They look brilliant. Never guessed that they came off a 3D printer. On small drawers like this, if your knobs aren't straight, they're going to look awful. So I made a super easy and very quick template out of some paper, boffed a hole in the middle of it. I previously folded over a bit, which sits on the top of the drawer front, which is great. This means that I can then easily put it in place and make sure that I have indents and drill out exactly the middle of every single drawer. The larger drawers were a little bit more straightforward just because there's only two of them. It was just a case of finding the middle, and there you go. As part of my hunt to reclaim as much stuff as possible and not have it go to the dump, I went and picked up some wood recently, and the guy was also about to throw away loads of screws. These screws were part of the haul that I got from that, and they've come in brilliantly because they haven't been used before, but they were the perfect length and width for this particular job because I didn't have anything in stock myself, so to speak. And here we are for the reveal in my office and next to the unit that I'd previously made. So let's get them in place and see what they look like. That, by the way, scared the pants off me. Absolutely perfect for what I need. It's now made me feel bad that I didn't finish the other set of drawers to the same sort of standard. But I am absolutely thrilled with how these turned out. I think they look great. They're going to be incredibly useful. And it's just nice to make something that's not rubbish. So if you've enjoyed this, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a follow on the socials. And I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.